To N.L. Ozmidov, Staraya, Russa, August 18th, 1880. Dear Sir Nikolai Lukich, I have read your letter very carefully, but what answer can I give to it? As you very intelligently remark in your letter, it is impossible to describe everything in a letter. I would even go so far as to say that it is impossible to give a satisfactory description of anything in a letter, beyond the most general outline. As for coming here to see me to seek my advice, I think that too would be quite pointless, because I do not consider myself particularly qualified to answer your questions. You write that, up till now, you have not allowed your daughter to read any literary works for fear of stirring her imagination. Well, I wouldn't quite agree with that. Imagination is an inherent force in every human being, and is particularly strong in children, in whom it becomes developed very early before other faculties, and it demands to be satisfied. By refusing to satisfy it, you risk either killing it altogether, or on the contrary, you may cause it to develop excessively, which is harmful, by allowing it to thrive on its own innate strength. Such a strain would only drain the child's spiritual side prematurely. An exposure to the beautiful is exactly what is needed in childhood. When I was 10 years old, I saw a performance of Schiller's The Robbers in Moscow, with Makalov acting in it, and I assure you, the very strong impression it made on me affected my spiritual development very favorably. At the age of 12, while spending my summer holidays in the countryside, I read the whole of Walter Scott. And although it may have stirred my imagination and my impressionability, I feel that I made proper use of it, did not guide it in the wrong direction, and when the many beautiful and lofty impressions I gathered from that reading were carried over into my life, they formed a great force in my heart with which to combat temptations and corrupting passions. I would recommend that you give your daughter Walter Scott to read now, especially since he is quite forgotten in Russia today, and by the time she is on her own, she won't find the occasion or the need to acquaint herself with that great writer. So hasten to acquaint her with him while she is still at home with you, because Walter Scott is of great educational value, and let her also read Dickens. Everything he has written, without exception. Acquaint her also with the literature of past centuries, Don Quixote and even Gil Blas. It would be best to start with poetry. She must read all of Pushkin, poetry as well as prose. The same goes for Gogol, Turgenev, Goncharov, if you wish. The same goes for Gogol, Turgenev, Goncharov, if you wish. As for my works, I doubt that everything I have written would be appropriate for her. It would be good if she read in full Schlosser's History and Solovyov's History of Russia. She shouldn't neglect Karamzin. For the time being, don't give her Kostomarov. The conquests of Peru and of Mexico by Prescott are indispensable. In general, historical works are of tremendous educational importance. She must read all of Lev Tolstoy's works, Shakespeare, Schiller, Goethe. They are all available in excellent Russian translations. Well, that should do for the time being. But you will see yourself, as the years go by, that there are quite a few more things you could add to this list. Newspaper writings ought to be avoided, at least for the time being. I am not sure whether you will be satisfied with my advice. I have written on the basis of my views and experience. I will be delighted if you find all this helpful. I don't feel that a meeting between us at this time is at all necessary, especially since I happen to be particularly busy right now. And I repeat again, I do not at all consider myself to be such an authority in this matter. The number of the diary has been sent to you. It costs, including postage, only 35 kopecks, so that I consider I owe you 65 kopecks. Your sincerely devoted F. Dostoyevsky. Footnote: Pavel Stepanovich Makalov, 1800 to 1848, was a famous Russian actor. Friedrich Schlosser, 1776 to 1861, was a German historian whose works had been translated into Russian. For Dostoyevsky's reaction when he first read Prescott's works, see letter 16.